Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, as usual, before we start our practice session, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this practice can help for us to develop our inner awareness. So when it comes to meditation, and the technique is important. So once you learn the technique, you have to remember it is by practicing yourself, you have to gain some experience and understanding. But at the same time, overall, the understanding this, how this in the whole mechanism, the life happening itself is very necessary. Because once you understand how the life happens, you yourself will help for you to understand, do you need this practice? Or is there any other way? Another thing is, just by practicing meditation, there is no way that you can maintain a good life, a comfortable life. Because in the conventional life, then according to this conventional patterns, there are necessary things, nothing to do with meditation. So then you have to take the necessary actions according to that situation. And in the basic life, there are a lot of things that you have to go with the culture, tradition, and with other people, their opinions. So you can't bring that the meditation in the beginning, you can't bring the meditation to that everything. Meditation is important. You have to practice it yourself to develop the clarity, but at the same time, understanding how our life that happen day to day and what are the responsibilities and where we need to put the attention during the day and how we can change the situation and what is the contribution ourselves that we can help other people. So like that, you have to look into deeper and see the whole life as one and try to understand yourself basically how this happened. Because once you have it, the meditation also, the practicing also going to become more sharp and clear. So as you know, this everything start with the ignorance. So that is the beginning point. Why this all happens? Why we are in the samsara? Because of the ignorance. So that when it comes to ignorance, there are two parts. So what is the ignorance? The ignorance is not knowingly right reasons. We have no ability to understand how things come to be as they are. So then ignorance has two parts. What are those two parts? One is illusion and other one is delusion. So what is the illusion? Illusion is the perception that we perceive with our eye. So because those are the sense base, that those are the department that we have to keep the connection with the outside world. So our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and just keep the mind away a little bit because it's belong to us. So with our five senses, let's go like that. When the perception come to us, and if the perception we recognize in a wrong way, out of the perception, if we have a kind of like a wrong idea, false idea, that is illusion. So it's mostly depend on the outside situation. So our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, whatever we perceive, and if we don't have the clarity, that is what called illusion. Misleading perception. And now we have that the unclear, imperfect information, and then that information we take as truth. So that is our total 100% responsibility, because that whatever the information we have, we take it as truth, exactly as it is, and then we're going to believe it, and out of that believing, we're going to hold it to that. So that is delusion. So the delusion is totally a mental condition. Illusion is unclarity regarding the perception. So if you have the right recognition, and out of that right recognition or the right information, maybe you get into the right understanding. So that's why listening, learning help for us to understand this mechanism, not to gain as a whole lesson. So you have to understand the mechanism happening in you. So mostly that what the mistake we does. So in the outside world, where the illusion happens, that one is the impermanent things we take as permanent. And Other one is that permanent things we take as impermanent. And one thing is the suffering we take as happiness. And the happiness we take as suffering. So like that, it's all the most of the ideas that the whatever we recognize, it's a completely the opposite side. Why it take a kind of like that way? Why it come to us like that? There are few reasons. So one reason is that clearly the outside world, the outside information can be made, that made someone purposely make it wrong. And then you're going to get it wrong way. So as example, just imagine that you're going to buy something and it's breakable. It's what sometimes they say, oh, this is very good. This is not going to break, that this is going to be kind of like, even you die, this is going to be okay. So it's like that. And they never say the real nature of it. And put the cover. And it always cover up the true nature. And then that's the information you gain. So then you believe that. So what does that mean then? Then that means the outside has the power to influence. Outside has power to bring some kind of the information for you to transform you. Don't think that everything 100% just happen inside you. Like the nuclear plant. No, there is something that has a power, can bring to inside you. So that's why even the Buddha come to the world, because the Buddha is someone come from outside. So and start to teach you. So if the outside information can't change you, how the Buddha can take you to liberation? How the Buddha can help you? Or how other enlightened masters can help you? How this Dharma can help you if the outside information can't change you? So it can change you, and at the same time you have to understand then fairly, the outside information can take you to the wrong way also. So this from outside information that coming in is a kind of like a way that allow things to happen, allow things to come. And so when things allow to come like that way, even though you don't see, by the time deeply you start to change your believing, your understanding. And then right away you can't get out of it. Because that is the information, little by little, little by little, little by little, start to create a kind of like a Dharma in you, start to create kind of like a dogma in you, start to create kind of like a hallucination in you. So then you can't right away get out of your mind. You don't have that power sometimes. Just imagine every day if you start to watch a kind of like a drama, you want to watch it. Every day you keep watching. So then by the time that all the characters, that all whatever happens there, and deeply yourself, maybe you start to validate yourself. You accept it yourself. And then by the time, through your life, it's a start to come out. Then that drama itself become your life. then your life also become a whole drama then, no? So like that, this outside influence that happen always, that is one thing. It's a 50% of our life. So that's why the good environment, right people is very important for your peace of mind and even for your spiritual practice. If you are in the wrong environment, if you are with the wrong people, if you have the wrong behavior, if you have the wrong intake, there is no any kind of special, the power inside you can change everything 100% perfect. So and then basically you have to understand that very basic principles. And so that is why in another way it called like a kind of like a indriya samvara. So guarding your senses, it is your responsibility. You can't allow everything to let it come. So you have responsibility to say no also. Have you ever developed that ability in you? So the second part is delusion. So it has a power to bring our habits from our past and our memory, thinking pattern, desires, like dislikes, our emotions. So that also another way can bring the influence to the world. So then it doesn't matter whatever the perception come to you, and you start to convert it. If the emotion so high, if your believing system so high, if your dogma so high, if your hallucination is so high, what happens? That whatever the right information you gain from outside, inside, you can change it. And you can change it. And then out of your bodily, verbally, mentally action, you can send back to the society something wrong. So you bring you allow the truth to come, but inside you, you create it as a false information. So then you are responsible to have a very disciplined life. You can't say things the way you want. You can't do the things the way you want. Why? Because just imagine then, another person going to receive your information. And as the same way that you had the power to get influenced by the perception, for another person, you become the perception, and that person become the perceiver. So then, that whatever you give it to that person also can change. So that's how the society goes. So that's why the Sangha is very important, because in the community of Sangha, you develop a circle that always you're going to be more safe with the information. And at the same time, so whatever that the mistake happened, it is very easy to correct it. But in the society, it's different. So as example, if someone think to make another person angry, by purpose, you can make another person angry out of your behavior. Then other person get mad. So see, by purpose, you can do it. And then what happened? Once the other person get angry, that anger can take you to another person. So like that, it go and there is no, but in the community of Sangha, it's not like that. For the greed, hatred, or the delusion, it can't go that far. So if you and then around the community of Sangha, you always going to be, even it happen, you have power to come back, recover very soon. So the community of Sangha is it's a kind of like this. If I give a simile, that when you drive in certain freeways, you have toll roads, fast track, and you can go fast the journey. Of course, you have to pay a little bit, but less traffic. It's kind of like you get into carpool. So the community of Sangha also like that. You get into this community and then your journey becomes so fast. And of course, you need some things to give up. With everything, you can't be there. Then you have, there's some things you have to sacrifice. But still, it is up to you to understand yourself. You want to go with that journey or you want to go with this? And when it comes to the fast track or the Kabul, another thing is, there's a safety. That you get a more extra safety when you get into that line. So same like when you are in the community of Sangha, you get that environmental safety. So that's why the practicing with the right people and understanding and following and listening to the right people is it helps for you certain way. So now you know that outside information can change you inside, and at the same time inside your behavior can change the outside. When you understand this connection, you become more disciplined, you become more careful, whatever things come towards you, and then whatever you contribute. So this method, so both way, you guarding your senses, so guarding yourself, that is the base of this spiritual development. That's the foundation. So once you develop that foundation, because there's that deeply, this all we call the astrava. So the astrava is the kind of like the cankers, mental formations. It's a kind of like the astrava, that the very basic meaning is the astrava is the kind of like a flow in, but the flow in, and then at the same time it's kind of like an influx. It's not separate, just not separate. It has a connection also, influence. You get influenced by others and the others get influenced by you. It's like the water and the waves. You can't separate it. Otherwise, if you destroy your outside world, then things going to be okay. No, otherwise you take a flight and go to the moon and live there. You think that you're going to have liberation there? No, you become more zombie because no one there. So that's why you have to understand this connection. So once you understand this connection, that when the perception happens, It's just not happen alone because it happened as a reason. And what the perception and always stimulate inside us. The stimulation is our addiction. We like it. And that little stimulation, keep going. We look for that moment by moment, moment by moment. And and brain science people say it's a dopamine. You know, when you need dopamine and you get the dopamine once you're addicted to that, and you feel happy. You know, every moment, second by second, you touch the phone and look, touch the phone and look, touch the phone and look. You stimulate a little bit, and then you feel kind of like something. You feel good. But end of the day, feeling good doesn't make any sense for us. But still, when you wake up next day, still you start to look for feeling good. So like that, this keeps happening. But once you understand, once you start to have this self-guarding lifestyle, we call it discipline. So once you start to discipline yourself, it changes the pattern. So to be disciplined, you have to bring the awareness to inside you. Otherwise, you can't. So moment by moment now, with the information you receive, the perception, and at the same time actions, the both sides, you become in the middle, and then your awareness become more and more and more sharp and clear, and you're going to see the information, oh, I don't want it. Then you get away from it. I don't want to listen to this. You get away from this. I don't want to watch this. You get away from this. I don't want these people. You get away from it. So that's become discipline. To see that, you have to be mindful. That's develop the awareness. And at the same way, oh, I don't want to say this. Now from inside, whatever comes, you start to say, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to think this way. So now your bodily, verbally, mentally action, now you guarding itself, yourself. And that also become a discipline. So once you develop that, your awareness become more sharp and clear. And then by the time, that's the first step. And now you recognize how the ignorance happened with the illusion and the delusion. So the illusion from outside information, we can't make it clear. That's they are the illusion. And the delusion, the inside our misunderstanding or the wrong believing, delusion. So now with the self-discipline, your awareness become more sharp and clear. And as a result of that, what happened, the illusion and the delusion going to become more minimized. That means the ignorance going to go away little by little, little by little. So when the ignorance go away, then what happened? The wisdom arise. The wisdom means right understanding, another way. You recognize that the right thing as right, the wrong things as wrong, good things as good, that the unnecessary things as unnecessary. So that is the very first level of understanding, the clarity. That make you more sharp and clear. Then by the time you understand the world is world. And your past also is your past. You can't get out of this both. So remember, in the beginning, you can't get this understanding. You can't get into that. But by the time this is what happens. So then you recognize by the time, even you try to change people, there are some behaviors you can't change. Even other people try to help you, and you understand yourself, they can't help you also. There are some things in you. So then look that in the beginning we understood something, but when it comes to more deeper, there is something else. But that first understanding is very necessary to go into the next level. So that is the important thing. You can't neglect it, because this is a gradual, step-by-step process. So then the first step you can't neglect. So self-guarding and developing self-discipline and having that. So once you have that understanding, then you recognize it is you. It is your responsibility. And then what happens? So whatever, now more than your ignorance, your awareness is more high. Your wisdom is more powerful. And then with that awareness, so whatever you see, you recognize, if you validate it as a pleasant, then the desire arises, then you go with it. And whatever you see, hear, smell, feel, taste, if you validate it, if you take it as unpleasant, anger arises. So now totally it's about you. And if you neglect it, oh, whatever happened, let it happen. The ignorance arises. So see, three things. If you accept it, the desire arises. Once the desire arises, again you go back to the same circle. And if you reject it, thinking and go against it and unpleasant, the anger arises. And then again you go back to it. And then if you neglect it, oh, let it be, whatever, anything, then the ignorance arises. So then how you can get out of it? That is, now you're able to see your own mind and the result out of it that come as a result of the awareness, but still the first practice you keep doing. What is that? Discipline. When the discipline part become more high, and that's mean you become, you self-guard yourself, and you guarding your senses more and more and more, that your delusion and illusion going to go down. And that, as example, ignorance become more and weaker, and then your awareness become more sharp. As a result of sharpening your awareness, you start to understand that anything is really that not going to be the same, and it is not permanent, and it's even not happen from a permanent entity. It is only in the moment. So when you come to that level, you recognize that it is impermanent. Even it is a good thing, impermanent. Even it is a bad thing, impermanent. Even it is something to neglect, it is impermanent. So kind of like a neutral, impermanent. So more than go with the, oh, this is good, more than go with the resisting, or more than go with the neutralizing, once you focus to the impermanent, then what happens? It's deeply kind of like you tune to the real truth in that very moment, whatever happens. It's a kind of like an introversion of the attention. Because in the beginning, if you put the attention to the outside, the illusion happens. If you put into that your emotions or the habitual patterns, delusions happen. If you put into if put your attention to pleasant, the desire arise. If you put your attention to the unpleasant, the anger arise. If you put your attention to the neutralize or the equanimity, then the ignorance arise. Now you put your attention to the impermanent. So that is the depth of any situation. That is the bottom. Once you catch it, your awareness is going to be more sharp and clear, and no any divisions, no any dualistic mind. So whatever comes to you, that you are capable to be with, without go with the emotions or the desires, or without go with the reactions, right away you are more clear to see the depth of that, the perception, and recognize as it impermanent. When you recognize it as any experience as information, it's not going to go to stimulate you. It's not going to take you to gain a kind of like a feelings. So when you drop out of the happy feelings, sad feelings, good feelings, or the bad feelings, or the neutral feelings, no feelings out of experience. That is where you gain the total clarity. When you break down that feeling part, no way that emotions can react to you. When there is no emotions can react to you, it's going to become a direct perception and bring the clarity out of your experience. And when the direct perception happens, the experience itself becomes your wisdom. When the experience becomes your wisdom itself, there is no gap to think, or there is no gap to come all other, the past or the future desires to it. There's no gap to come to all other opinions or the fear or the unsatisfaction like that. That is where deeply you're recognizing this introversion of attention is the key point. And then you can maintain it. Well, because now you know how it happened and you can validate and you can be with it. When you be with it, there is another ability come to you. You recognize how things come to be as they are. Why? Because now you are very clear. Your mind is very clear. Even that the whatever outside things happen, it has no power to create any illusion. Why? Because your mind is crystal clear. It is so vivid to see, you know how things come to be as they are. And even that inside influence happen, that there is no way now all that mental formations or the sanskara or the influx or the cankers, now there is no way it can get the influence by the outside. So then little by little you uproot it. And by the time, when you develop deeper, clean this yourself with the awareness again and again and again and again, you come to a point always, and according to the necessary course and conditions, you are capable to act appropriately, to do the right things with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions. And once you have it, so whatever you do it knowingly, and you come to the exactly right things to do. And out of that, you and other people both going to be safe. And no any greed, hatred, and the delusion going to be there. And then your journey going to become more and more clear. And that clarity bring the liberation to you. Because you anymore, you are not a part of that current. But still, that current keep happening. Even though you understand this, remember, other people may not going to get it. So then, when you go this way, so like as example, for the greedy people, the generous person is the enemy. For the ignorance people, wise person is the enemy. Look at the human history. Most of the good people killed by people. How it is possible? Not animal, not aliens. Most of the good people, killed by people. They didn't have natural death. Why? Because when you become wise, when you become more clear, the dirty people start afraid for you. And once they're afraid for you, maybe they attack. So that's the natural process. So then you don't need to focus to that. And you don't need to depend on others' opinion. So that is how this old Dharma add to our life. But you have to remember the base is your clarity. It's nothing to do with others. It's your clarity. It is your total responsibility with developing the soul, the self-discipline. That's why day by day we bring this information for you. So listen this very carefully and recognize how this happened and what is the methods that this is happening. So once you have that, your practice is going to become more clear and your day-to-day life also going to become more and more and more profitable for you and for others. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body, please, and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area and deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Just recognize it through the sensation. Do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Just settle down with the sensation of the breathing. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma anudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami idam punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.